that I received an instruction from the Lord to talk about it and call the attention of the nation to it. So please permit me. I'm going to use the first session, a short minute, in order to address an issue that is going on in the country or an error that is about to take place in Ghana. Permit me to talk about it because human being, when God give us chance and people celebrate us, sometimes it derails us a little and we begin to behave like we are gods without noticing it. And sometimes we walk in this delusion that we don't know that we are shifting from some place of authority to where we shouldn't be. When people are celebrating us, when people are talking about us, especially in the field of leadership, that we sometimes miss the mark subtly to fall into ourselves, and subtle pride try to control us, but we don't know. So I'm going to touch on an issue, a broadcast that is circulating on the media. And I happen to be one of the men of God who has in-depth knowledge and understanding. And when it comes to the covenant of God over the nation Ghana, I happen to be one of the men of God who play a major role since 2006 as Ghana is concerned. The thing is that in many countries, people whose faces are shown in the media are those that many think that they are the people doing the work of God. I'm talking about in the corridor of the church. The faces that are known are faces that people think that they are the true men of God, or they are the people that God have sent concern the nation. But it is not so at all. There are people who are doing greater work for Christ, greater work for the kingdom, greater work for the nation, that nobody knows them. Just like the day of Jesus, that before Jesus will come, there is a woman and a man that their job is in the temple praying for the coming of the Messiah. Hannah is one. Nobody heard of her that much until the day Jesus came and Jesus was born. That people heard of her and a little was said about her. But she and one elderly man in the temple were the people praying for Christ, the Messiah, to manifest in the physical. So it is in Ghana. There are people, there are men of God, there are women of God, there are citizens who has assignment over the nation Ghana, spiritually and physically, and especially spiritually, who intercede day by day, more than some of the faces, i.e. men of God, that you see their face on the media, whether on their own platforms or outside there, that people celebrate. These people carry more unction and more grace even than most of the people that you see outside there. And so, because these people's faces are not shown, and because these people bind themselves with the word of God, want to walk within the rules of God, that is, don't seek the praise of men. That's what Jesus said. If not, you receive your reward already. So in Ghana, predominantly, because I'm speaking about Ghana this morning quickly, and the news that is coming out that we need to correct that error quickly before it brings Ghana to a place that Ghana is supposed not to be. I'll start by putting it this way. The nation Ghana, as the presidency is concerned, it is no more about people giving prophecies. I repeat, the nation Ghana, the period in which Ghana is in, the transition period that Ghana is in, it's not about giving prophecies. I'm not speaking against prophecy because I give some myself. But there is an understanding that the nation need to have, and the prophets that give prophecy need to know that since the days of milks down to the days of milks and on, Ghana has been in a transition. Ghana has been in a transition that there is a covenant over Ghana that God seeks to bring to pass. And so whatever God does with Ghana and leadership is concerned, it is now in the focus of the covenant of God over the nation. It is not about prophecy. If you give a prophecy and it falls within that covenant plan of God, when God manifests his will, then it will look like you have given a prophecy and it has come to pass. But I can hit my chest and say, only selected few people knows the covenant over Ghana, both traditionally and also in the arena of men of God. With the men of God, majority, the higher percentage don't know the covenant over the nation. Most of them, what they know about is exercising their gift when it comes to prophecy. But they actually don't know the covenant of God over the nation. And so most of them are trying to champion the cause of giving prophecies without knowing that there is a covenant that the nation need to follow. Now, recently, I think yesterday, I saw a post, and it was coming from the camp of Prophet Owusu Bempah. Well, many people call him Prophet Owusu Bempah, but Owusu Bempah is not a prophet. Owusu Bempah is an apostle. He is an apostle, Owusu Bempah. That is the calling he has. He is an apostle, he's not a prophet. Even though he operates in the prophetic ministry, but he is an apostle. It's very important you know that. The reason why you need to know that is that the way he functions, it is an apostle that functions that way, not a prophet. All right. Now, a message came through from his camp. And as long as they put it in the public domain, it needs to be addressed. And I thank God that that message came to the public domain, because an error is about to take place. In a statement of Prophet Owusu Bempah talking about the nation Ghana, he did make mention of something, and that is what I'm about to address in regards to Ghana and the covenant of God over the nation. For many months ago, or few months ago, I did a broadcast, and God showed me a few things about him and announced it on my platform live about what God is about to do with him and what is going on around. And I have the chance, he invited me and I went. And we met, we said a lot of things. And I remember one of the things I mentioned to him is that the President John Dramani Mahama, he winning the election, it is not about people giving prophecy. It's about a covenant that is over the nation that he's supposed to obey in full, but he alluded in obeying it. That is what led him in winning the election, the 2024-2025 election. 2025 or 24, election. So it is not about any prophet doing direction or performing anything that made our president, John Dramani Mahama, won the election. Now listen to this. The video I watched from his church, he did make mention that the coming Sunday, there is an announcement he's about to make or give, that the nation, if the nation will listen, it will help us. If we don't want to listen to Yaya Sema. And again, he added that let every prophet be silent. Let every prophet hold back their prophecy. That is what, these two, is what hit me that I want to address. Also, Bempah, I like that guy. I like him as a brother. But sometimes things goes in certain ways that you need to talk to a brother. I'm supposed to do that by calling him. Yesterday, I called his line many times. Nobody picked. I believe he's busy. But looking at what is happening in the portals of the nation, this matter, I need to address it quickly so that it will not be taken out of context, so that we can help this nation and the nation will come to the place of glory. Prophet Owusu Bempah, indeed, I know he has a good heart for Ghana, and he has an assignment also concerning Ghana. But this is the truth. There is a perception that is going out there that people want to create the impression that when it comes to the instrument and the governance of Ghana, all authority is in the hands of Prophet Owusu Bempah. That is not true. He's a brother and I respect him and I know he carries the unction. There are people in this nation that carries that authority, that works in those authority, but they don't make noise. They don't talk. Because the assignment given to us about nations and including Ghana, some of them, they work in secrecy. I'm one of them. And over the years, I've never made noise or talk about it. It was only when Akufo-Addo started, wanted to be a president, and Prophet Owusu Bempah was speaking and for Nana Addo to come to power, but the things got revealed to him. And also God revealed a lot to me about President Evans Atta Mills. And there are many times that he said Nana Addo is supposed to come, but he lost. Not because God did not reveal things to him, but it is because there were things happening behind the scene that he never have knowledge about, which I'm talking about the covenant of God over the nation. He never knew that during those days. So whatever prophecy he gave, it took a long time for things to turn around, for Nana Addo to come to power. Listen to this. Now, as the nation is concerned, there is a place that God is bringing Ghana to. And that manifestation has to do with the covenant over the nation. No prophet in this nation, and I repeat, it's not a boast, that is the truth. No prophet in this nation knows that covenant. It is not about prophecy over the nation. And I'm serious about this matter because so that my brother Owusu Bempah will not commit an error. Listen, there is something going on in Ghana that all you, the prophet, you need to wake up. The enemy is at war against you, the prophets. He wants to silence the voices of all the prophets who has the voice that can bring Ghana to a position and a pedestal. And if you're a follower of the team of Prophet Owusu Bempah, patiently listen to what I'm going to say. Listen to this. The enemy has an agenda. He wants to silence the voices of the prophets that has voice in Ghana. And he's succeeding at it, and it is because most of the prophets are interested in exhibiting their gift. They are not patiently watching the timelines and the portals of the nation properly. Quote me well. Prophet Kusi, what's the name? Is it Professor Kusi or something? I forgot the name properly. During the last election about President Mahama and Bawumia, he spoke predominantly believing that President Bawumia will win the election. And everything he saw and said, they were true that he saw those things. And those who supported him. And it was so clear and true that everybody believed Bawumia will win the election because of the things that were said and the prophetic utterances that were made. This man is a fine gentleman and truly has the prophetic grace of God that could carry Ghana to a place. But guess what? Because they never knew that the season Ghana was in was a transition period. And during those times, I was so much on the internet talking about this matter. And even I sent a warning to them that please be very careful. Because the things you are saying, it won't come to pass. Not because you are not called as a prophet. It was simply because Ghana was in a transition. It's about covenant over the nation. It is not about prophetic gift and prophesying. They never listen. To the day that God gave a warning that is going to disgrace them. You can watch all those videos on my platforms. Now listen to this. The devil managed to silence the voice of Reverend Kwesi or something? Somebody remind me the name properly. The devil managed, because they were not in tune properly to the covenant of God over the nation, the devil succeeded silencing their voice. The next person, that is prophet, the recent one, what's the name? And there was a younger prophet that also was in the camp that was speaking for. It's also Kwesi. There's a younger one. Also, the guy was so sharp in the prophetic ministry. Very precise.